Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome to 2021. This is Jeffrey Wu with the Health Via Modern Nutrition HVMN podcast. And I'm super excited for 2021. This is going to be a great, phenomenal, excellent year. And yes, the first few days of this year have been essentially a continuation of the crap of 2020, but we're not going to let that stop us. We're going to set some intentionality. We're going to keep a positive frame, and we are going to make 2021 great. We're not going to let 2021, a new year, a new beginning, be spoiled by the legacy of 2020. Let's make 2021 great again. How I want to make this year great again is almost bringing back something that's super cliche, something that's super lame, and that's New Year's resolutions. And any other time, any other period, I would say, hey, a new year is an arbitrary space-time instance of the Earth rotating around the sun, of some Gregorian calendar that some medieval person invented. What is the astrological, universal importance of this arbitrary time? There is none. So why don't we just start our new goal, a new mindset, any other random time? Well, it's because we're humans, and narrative, symbology, the fact that this new year is at least a universally culturally accepted new start. I'm going to take any advantage of human psychology, human culture, to use this as a new catalyst, a new starting point to say, hey, let's redefine what 2021, a new beginning, looks like, and make sure we set this new year in the right position. Lots to talk about, and I think just looking at my previous Free Fatty Friday monologues, I think this is a great way to tie the last three together. And if you look at Free Fatty Fridays 8, 9, and 10, I talked about in Free Fatty Friday 8, the power of compounding. This notion of doing something consistently day after day after day over a long period of time gives you exponential growth. And if you have infrastructure, people, skills that compound, your returns are much more than you would expect. For example, you can take waves hitting a cliff. Each individual wave doesn't look like it's doing much, but over years, centuries, millennia, you have a nice sandy beach. That is essentially power of consistent action over a long period of time. And then things that have network effects, things that have exponential power, that's where compounding truly is counterintuitive of how powerful that is. And if you look at some of the financial conditions today, that's why you see something like cryptocurrency or Bitcoin is having exponential growth, because the network effect of more and more people adopting makes the currency more and more valuable, and therefore you have this crazy increase in price. Just as an example. In Free Fatty Friday number 9, I talk about this important adage, this long-held deep Zen philosophy: playing stupid games wins you stupid prizes. Now, of course, this is an internet meme, but I find deep meaning in this notion because there's neurological, cultural, skill-building assets that compound. As you play a stupid game, you'll get really good at winning that stupid game, and then the ultimate prize of a stupid game is a stupid prize. So it's important in what you think about and what you work on. And then in Free Fatty Friday 10, the last Free Fatty Friday, I talk about doing something good for yourself every single day. Now, if you tie all of these three notions together, you really have a construct, a philosophy, and aesthetic of how to live a life, what I consider a well-lived life. What can you do that compounds every single day? What can you do to avoid playing stupid games? Because, of course, you and me, we both don't want to play stupid games. We want to play great games and win great prizes, because life is so short and we should spend our time on things that we believe that are great. And of course, that generosity to ourselves, doing one good thing for yourself every single day. And I think that's especially important now because times are stressful. There's so many things that are pulling us in multiple different directions. And again, when you compound something that's good for yourself every single day, and you practice that again and again and again, you are building and playing a great game, which ultimately will give you a great prize. So in that sense, these are essentially like really great frameworks to think about some New Year's resolutions. And I'm going to encourage and challenge you to set 3 types of New Year's resolutions. And we'll get to that. So I was actually doing a little bit of research and looking at how New Year's resolutions actually unfold. And the stats are pretty bad. So 80% of us break our New Year's resolutions by February. Only 8% of us actually stick it out for the rest of the year. So I know that we're not perfect, and I'm going to say that in some cases I've already missed some of these New Year's resolutions that I've set for myself. But that does not mean I stop, does not mean I give up. It means that I'm going to just try to get back on the horse. So all things said, this topic of Free Fatty Friday 11 is to say, let's set some New Year's resolutions together for 2021 to make this year excellent, to make this year great, to make this year the best year of our lives. Hey guys, this is Geoff Wu interrupting my podcast for a special offer, a special announcement for you. As you might know, HVMN just launched the new keto food bar, and they're yummy, they're delicious, and I want to make a special personal offer for you to give you a discount to get those into your hands. So for a limited time only, use the discount code Geoff10. That's GEOFF number 1 number 0, Geoff10 for a 10% discount on the keto food bar on hvmn.com. We got Mexican hot chocolate, one of my personal favorites. We got vanilla shortbread, we got chocolate chunk, and of course, we got the everything bagel, which is legit savory, garlicky, oniony. And these have become staples in my own personal life. I like to eat this with a cup of coffee for breakfast. I've been using the Mexican hot chocolate, the vanilla, as grab-and-go bars when I'm biking, when I'm out on the town, when it's not easy for me to eat healthy, eat keto. So these are certified organic. They actually are yummy. They aren't these weird synthetic, artificial tasting bars you might see that are keto compliant but have a bunch of fake IMOs and things that actually spike glycemic response. And of course, while they're also certified organic and they actually taste good, these have been tested on continuous glucose monitors, so they actually have flat glycemic response on your blood sugar. So essentially, it's a fasting mimetic, but we're still delivering almost 300 calories of healthy fat and 12 grams of healthy protein and grass-fed collagen. These are legit. I'm so excited for you to try them and use my personal discount code Geoff10 to get a special 10% discount. So check it out and enjoy, and back to the program. Let's set for each of us a New Year's resolution related to our physical health, our physical bodies. We are physical beings. Let's have one goal that relates to our physicality. Let's have a second goal related to our mental health, our life's purpose, our livelihood. And we'll have the third and last goal related to our community, our spirituality. So I'm going to share what these goals are for myself as an example, and I encourage you to share back to me, whether it's in the comments or just email me or DM me on Instagram or social or Twitter. And let's set a tribe of us who are not going to let the circumstances and environment of 2020 define us. We are going to apply our agency and define the year for ourselves. So my physical goal, as you guys probably know, I do a lot of weird extreme challenges, and a bunch of my friends on social media were challenging us to different activities, and I've committed myself to doing 500 push-ups every single day for the month of January. And I'll be the first to say I've already messed up that goal. But between travel and moving around and just the busyness of the first week of the new year kicking off on all business fronts, didn't happen. But does that mean I just give up because I can't get it done? No, I'm going to do more push-ups after I tape this Free Fatty Friday to at least make progress to that goal. The worst thing is not necessarily not hitting the goal, but it's not even trying, doing that one good thing a day to even go closer to that goal. It can be extreme, it can be even out of reach, but the point is, even if you cannot reach that goal, it does not mean you try. Try every single day to hit that goal. So, and I think this is an especially interesting one because 71 million Americans gained weight during this pandemic. And actually my goal for 2021 is to gain a little bit of weight. but it's not the weight that you think. It's gaining a little bit more lean muscle tissue. Maybe gain about 5 more pounds of functional, powerful muscle. Don't need to gain that much. I know I'm not trying to turn into the Hulk, but a little bit stronger, a little bit more fit, improve my resilience. That seems to be a good metric to hit for myself. So for me, it's going to be attempting to try to get as close to 500 push-ups a day for the rest of this month, and then build different protocols for myself to put on 5 more pounds of lean muscle tissue. So I'm currently around 170 pounds. I'm about 5'11" in terms of height. So can I get to 175 plus? I'm not gonna just be putting on just only lean muscle tissue, probably putting on some fat, of course, along with that. So can I hit a healthy lean 176, 177 by the end of this year? And I set this goal seriously, but not literally, meaning that I have full intentionality to work on something every single day to hit that goal. But if I fall off the horse one day, it does not mean I just totally give up. It means that I'll get back on my horse to improve and hit those goals the next day. So that's my physical goal. Tell me what your physical goal is. This could be losing weight. This could be starting a ketogenic diet. We have some great HVMN products and some exciting new products in the pipeline this year that can make it helpful for you, for your weight management and body composition goals. Or it can be a specific event. You want to do a marathon. You want to do your first half marathon. You want to do 100 push-ups. You want to do 200 pull-ups. These are all great goals. I think the most important thing is just setting something, anything. The worst thing is having no direction. Then of course you're not going anywhere. Just set any arbitrary goal and try to do something that reaches that goal every single day. So that's my encouragement on the physical front. Now let's move to category 2. Let's focus on our mental health, our mission, our livelihood. And when I talk to most people, a lot of their mental stress is from their job, from their employment, from their livelihood. And it makes sense. A lot of us spend most of our time working to turn our time into money. So again, it's maybe a different question. Is that the right way for us to live as humans? But it is the current context that we have to play in to survive. So the point is, our mental health is very tied to our livelihood, which is very tied to the purpose and meaning of our lives. My challenge, my question is that there is likely, and I'll open up for myself, something about what you do for your livelihood or your job that you just don't like, you don't feel good about. It could be that your boss doesn't recognize your contributions. It could be that the skill sets in the day-to-day does not reflect the curiosity, the creativity, the intelligence that you can contribute to that industry, to that field. It could be that you just don't even want to do anything with this field and you're just biding your time working on the next thing. So my challenge is, and this is something that we at HVMN really focused on as we kicked off this new year, is that I want to have fun at my job. And I told all of my colleagues and teammates that 2021 is the year we have fun. We have fun doing our work. And if there's just literally nothing fun about the job, maybe it's time to think about the plans of finding a new job. Or maybe it's about finding the attributes of the current job that are interesting, that you can turn from rote to menial to, hey, this is interesting, this is challenging. So for example, my job at HVMN is oftentimes pretty stressful. Just from the supply chain and pandemic, the cost of doing business is going up. I mean, just shipping costs, for example, U.S. Postal Service, a little bit of, for folks who were shipping presents or shipping packages around towards the end of last year, that shipping was slowed down a lot. Shipping prices are going up. And that's something that's stressful. Advertising costs are going up. After the election in November 2020, ad prices went skyrocketing high. So it's harder to reach and talk to, potential customers. So how do I deal with that? Well, it's working with people and realizing and focusing on what I find the most fun about my job. So when I think about my job, I think about the coolest aspects of it and focus on driving my attention and energy towards the best parts of the job. So for me, that's doing more content, that's doing this podcast, that's having more conversations with you. I think this is just super fun to be able to share my ideas, share my experiences in a super raw format, not be afraid to be a little bit wrong or misword something here or there, and just have a real conversation. So I'm going to do and spend much more time on this aspect of HVMN. I love thinking about new products. I love thinking about new technologies in metabolism and physiology. I love working with scientists, elite athletes, folks at the very, very cutting edge of human performance. So I'm going to just focus on doing more and more of all of those aspects of that business. And I'm super lucky to have found people that love optimizing and love building systems around optimizing shipping costs and warehouses and inventory. I have awesome colleagues in terms of figuring out how to optimize media spend and how to optimize different platforms from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, to podcasts, to all this sorts of things. So the point here is that we have to have fun. We have to have levity in our livelihoods, because for better or for worse, we spend most of our productive waking hours working to making a living. And if we're not having fun doing what we do for making a living, one, that's a bad way to live. And then two, if you're not having fun, there's just no way you're putting full intentionality of being great at what you're doing. And if you're doing something that you don't like and you're not good at, and you just keep doing it again and again and again, well, that's the definition of playing a stupid game to win a stupid prize. So my exhortation, my push here is to say, think and reflect about what you do on a day-to-day basis. Find and focus and dedicate time to find the best attributes of your livelihood. And if there's absolutely nothing redeeming about what you do for a living, figure out the steps to go to a position that you can exercise your creativity, your passion. And I think that's the virtuous cycle, where if you can actually have fun and have levity and be loose on your job, that's when your ability to survive and turns into ability to thrive. So that's my encouragement. Put yourself in a spot of mental health, which aligns with finding a mission and then building a way to make a living that's fun. And that's super, super important when the economy is changing, and we should be thoughtful around, what's the way to engage. And last but not least, we're gonna create a goal around our community. And one thing that I think we've all felt in 2020 was that life is just a series of interacting with different great people. And I really want to make an intentional goal to spend more time with the people that are my friends and family, and spend more time with my tight, close-knit group, my tribe, but also find and engage and bring in more interesting people into this community. And for 2021, I think we have a unique opportunity to actually do that. I think because it's now more socially acceptable to just call, to have a video call, or have asynchronous conversations like this, you can have your friends and close loved ones be extrapolated across geography and time. I mean, this new landscape has made that socially acceptable. So let's embrace this new paradigm of communication. Like it doesn't matter, essentially, if you're in San Francisco, because I'm not necessarily going to be hanging out with you in person anyways, right? Everything is shut down. So it doesn't matter if you're in Los Angeles, New York City, Bangkok, Shanghai, New Delhi, doesn't matter. We can all communicate as if we were on the same geographic space-time position, because we've all been abstracted away from the physical, and now everyone's just on the internet. So we're all on the same internet. So we should take advantage of this, meaning that in one way, we should figure out how to double down on the close relationships. So I've been thoughtful, considerate about hanging out in person for people in my close circle. But also, because it's so much easier to schedule a coffee meeting, what used to only be a one coffee meeting possible a day, because it takes 15 minutes to get to a coffee shop, you wait around 10 minutes to get that cup of coffee, you chat for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and you gotta walk back. That takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours end to end. Well, I can literally have 5 coffee meetings a day now because I can schedule 15, 30 minutes and bang out meetings back to back to back. And it's super efficient, but yet super fun. So one thing that I encourage, and this is a little bit more tactical, is schedule and coordinate more serendipitous phone calls, Zoom calls, Google Meets, FaceTimes with good people one step outside your network. Life is about people and collaborating and finding synergy and creating new ideas, new projects with more and more people, right? That is like the grand American experiment, the 300 million plus of us coming together, building out this experiment of democracy. And we should go back to that, meaning that let's talk to our fellow folks. Let's talk to our fellow Americans, but also our fellow global citizens, because yes, while I'm American, I'm also a citizen of Earth. I'm a fellow human, and I know that we have a lot of international folks around the world. So I'm not necessarily nationalistic, jingoistic. You know, I just like great people. Obviously, I have a little bit of cultural affinity to fellow Americans, but what I care about most are people that share the same values, the same ambition, the same goals as me. And oftentimes, that's where true community and that notion of a tribe really comes from, right? So let's find people that will align with their values. And I think one of the simple values that I'm trying to express with this Free Fatty Friday is that let's just do positive things. Let's improve ourselves every single day. And eventually, if we do that for a long enough period of time, we're gonna have a great, phenomenal journey through this year. So that's my last and thought in terms of how you should think about building out a community for 2021. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Happy New Year. Let's not let the dredges of 2020 spoil this awesome, excellent new year of 2021. Let's take control of this year. Let's redefine the frame. We're gonna set a physical goal. We're gonna set a mental livelihood goal, a mental health goal, and we're gonna set a community, finding that tribe of people that think and align with us goal. And hopefully, if we can do this consistently for 2021, and let's take that 8% up to 80%, that's just gonna be a start of not just a great year for you and me, but a great year for our neighborhoods, our society, our culture around us. So that's it from me. I expect to hear about exactly what your goals are, and I'm game. Challenge me and keep each other accountable. I love ideas for interesting challenges, whether it's a physical challenge, a mental challenge, or a community challenge. I'm open to adding more and more New Year's resolutions to make this fun. So if you have an interesting, compelling challenge that you want me to be a part of, write in the comments. Again, hit me up on social media and we'll commit to it. Again, thanks so much for taking the time to chat and listen. I'll see you next week. This is Geoff Wu, and I'm out.